let's talk about Spawn.
Never heard of him. Who is this?
You're such a dick. Anyhow, so
listen, I'm gonna make this interesting.
So just catching up for everyone who might not know.
You're boring.
There's like, I think it's into the hundreds now, but it's like Spawn is a comic book sort of anti-hero.
Is it really 100?
I think it's over 100.
Wow.
Like, Spawn's been around for a long time.
I just don't hear enough, like, very much about him.
Yeah, well, it's not not a major like character, or like it's not like a DC or a Marvel.
He's not one of your Venoms.
Yeah.
Pulling up a Tom Hardy.
And so the movie that I think came out in '97, no one liked it. It was also like before you could do like an R-rated movie. I mean, there were R-rated movies, but that was before you could do a R-rated superhero movie. And so it was PG, and it was not very good. So Todd Macfarlane, who owns McFarlane Toys, I think he still is one of the writers for Spawn, I believe.
Like
who's like early on, yeah. He's like, screw it. He's making a new movie that he's writing and directing, and I believe McFarlane Toys is also self-funding it. They're working with Blumhouse on distribution. I think it was
and production, isn't
it? It might be. I'm not too sure. All I know is like it's very much like McFarlane doing his own thing and just being like, I just need a studio to do this studio like stuff. Anyhow, and so
if you need to look something up, just let me know. I'll just
because you were like, is it right past 100? So now I'm looking at how many issues of Spawn there are. It's at least 250.
Jesus Christ!
Because the first one that pops up is Spawn number 250. So assuming there's a lot more. Anyhow, so the first one was bad, and so news just came out where it's like apparently Jamie Foxx has been cast as Spawn, which, like, great actor and everything. I was a little hesitant on simply because Spawn, especially from like the comics and even in the movie, he's kind of he's a bigger guy. He's more intimidating,
Chayton, if you will,
physically. A reference for everyone who, unless you've seen Banshee,
if they haven't seen it,
of the 3 people watching this,
we don't know our numbers yet. This is the first episode.
We also, I don't think I've mentioned Banshee yet.
I've mentioned Banshee. Oh yeah. Definitely during one of our Let's Plays. 100% during Dark Souls at least a few times. Anyway, if people don't know who Chayton is, first off, watch all of Banshee, and then you'll have 3 things going for you. 1, you'll be a better person. 2, you'll be happy for the first time in a long time, and 3, you'll know who Chayton is. So really, that's a win-win. Watch Banshee. That's your plug.
Anyhow, and so he apparently cast Jamie Foxx. And now, once again, it's like, that character will be mostly CG, so I'm not too worried about it. Like, it's probably more for, like, Jamie Foxx's, like, the voice.
He's got a good voice.
And then, so this came out on IGN on June the 2nd, and it was just mentioning how, there was an interview with Todd Macfarlane, and he mentioned how it's going to be more of like, he put it as a creep film, and it's from that's from an interview with comicbook.com, and so it seems like it's going to follow the P.I. Twitch Williams instead of Spawn, where Spawn will be more of like the driving force, but it's not going to be necessarily the protagonist of it.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see what it does, especially because all sort of the comic book superhero movies now have been more of like they're action movies with superheroes in them. Mm-hmm. This seems to be one of the first that's going to be like, there's a superhero in it, but it's not going to be focused on like, here's action and stuff. And like McFarlane mentions, where it's like there's no going to be like here's the hero shot of like, oh my god, look at like
look at me on tape.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a much more dark, seemingly like noir. Like it's gonna be R-rated, but not in like the Deadpool sense of like there's still jokes and stuff. I trust it'll be very much like this is an R-rated for like serious stuff.
Now I haven't clearly haven't seen or heard of anything Spawn related aside from this movie news here. Is he a superhero or an anti-hero?
Or
is he a villain?
Well, I think technically he's an anti-hero.
Like a Venom?
Well, like a kind of... So the whole story, what happens, and I think it's Al Simmons, I believe, was the first... I don't know who Spawn this is going to be. It's kind of passed around a little bit, but Al Simmons is like... I believe that's his name, is sort of the main Spawn. And so what happens is...
Famey Jocks.
He's I think it was Vietnam. Anyhow, he was a soldier, dies, and he makes a deal with not the devil, but like one of the sort of like a higher demon to come back to Earth so he can like see his wife and stuff. But he comes back and he as like and the reason why it's Spawn is he's a hell Spawn, right? So he can realistically he has all these powers. Like he's got like he can shapeshift. He can I think he can fly. He's got like super strength. All these kind of things. And he essentially does work for demons and stuff. But then he's also like doesn't like to do work with them. So he's
got a heart of gold.
Yeah, it's like he very much has sort of like his reasons for doing things and wants to sort of do the right thing, but at the same time is being sometimes forced to do the wrong. So he very much is like an anti-hero, but I still would consider like he's a superhero because he has powers, but he's an anti-hero because of like what it is, right? Like superhero, I feel is sort of like the kingdom of like you're a hero with powers.
A good person who does bad things.
Yeah, and so it's like the subgenres from superhero would be like anti-hero, hero, like, and so. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what and to be honest, like, I trust Todd Macfarlane, so I'm going on good faith of what this movie's going to be.
But now, do you think this movie's going to do well?
Critically or commercially?
Both, really. So far, I think it's probably going to do good critically.
Yeah.
Or, like, probably more likely it'll do better in the fan service of it all.
Well, and I think that's why it's like... And don't get me wrong, $10 million is a significant amount, but...
Oh, is that a small budget?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, I believe Todd, like, McFarlane, the company, is, like, funding it.
Is it getting a theatrical release?
I believe so.
Oh, $10 million, wow.
I mean, once again, it's like, it's still... Like I said, they just cast, like... the driving force of it, so it still goes away. But from what I understand, it is planned to be like a theatrical, like full release type movie.
Yeah, because aside from a few like Jamie Foxx is Spawn, I really haven't heard anything about this movie aside from what you've told me.
Yeah, well, and I think it's one of those things where because it's on a small budget, and I think it'll do well. I think it'll make its money back, right?
Well, with $10 million probably won't be too hard.
Yeah. However, what I'm worried about is I think it's going to be a good movie. And once again, I trust McFarlane that he's gonna be like, this is my project and he'll do it well. I'm worried that critically, people are, because it seems like it's gonna be like this is a superhero horror noir type thing. So I'm worried that it's going to be...
This isn't a superhero movie? What have you done?
Yeah, people are going to go into it expecting, like, Spawn's coming out and he's, like, making jokes and, like, no one really dies. And it's, like... And then you're going to see it and it's going to be, like, very, like, dark and, like, brutal and in your face.
Is Spawn a Marvel?
No. Spawn is... I believe it's indie. I don't think it's part of either... yeah, because McFarlane owns it. I think it goes through... I want to say... No, it wouldn't be Top Cow. I want to say Boom, but I can't remember. they actually might just have their own like comic imprint for like Spawn and the offshoots. But so yeah, it's one of those things of, I hope people go into it with an open mind, being like not expecting what they've seen so far from both DC and Marvel, of like, this is what we kind of expect a superhero movie to be, and then they go into this and they're like, holy shit, what was this? And they degrade it because it is so different.
And they kind of become one and the same now.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that that's what happens, because I think it'll be good. I'm worried about that for a critical reception.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, you see the critical reception to most of these Marvel superhero movies now, and
yeah, and like, that's a whole another thing to like get into another time. But it's like, yeah,
that's why I'm stopping myself.
Yeah. This, from what I haven't read all of the Spawn comics. It's something I've always been interested in, but like, I was kind of late to the party type deal, and so.
What time did you show up?
And so what happened is, like, this seems, just from the parts of Spawn that I've read and basing a little bit off of the movie, as well as just what McFarlane said, it seems to be sort of like the opposite of Marvel. And I believe McFarlane's even been like, I'm kind of tired of like superhero, like he's reached fatigue of like what superhero movies are. So it seems like this is going to be such a hard turn from that.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been coming for, it's arguably already 5 years too late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I feel like even the hype for Infinity War of this year, like,
oh yeah,
when Avengers first came out, that fucking hype was real.
Yeah.
Everyone was fucking pumped. They're like, holy shit, that's Thanos. Oh my god, he's here. And then 10 years go by, or 6, I should say, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, happened. Cool. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, it's...
You put it back 3 years, get rid of all, like, the bad ones, and you've got yourself a real tight schedule. There you go. Get the hype, you're good.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue, too, is they announced movies to like 2020 or whatever, so it's like, I feel like that just kind of makes the hype cycle so long, it loses something, where I feel like if they were like, by the way, Infinity War comes out next, like,
surprise trailer drop.
Yeah.
Boom.
If it was like, hey, Civil War happens or whatever, Ragnarok happens, Guardians 2, I forget which order those, or it was Guardians 2 then Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And there's like the end of Ragnarok or whatever, there's I didn't see it, but there's like a post credits or whatever, blah blah. And then Marvel has like during the Super Bowl or whatever, who knows, they're just like, and next year Infinity War comes out, and everyone like loses their mind. Now you have a whole year of just like everyone's going crazy. But when it's like 2020 or 2012 or whatever they announced it, and they're like, oh, it's Infinity War is coming out in 2018. That's like, people are like, oh, this, I'm so excited for this. And then as it kind of goes on, it's like, oh yeah, but Infinity War, I'm looking forward to it.
And you can predict how all of them are going to go just based on what's coming.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that Marvel Studios, when Infinity War, the trailer dropped, I'm surprised they didn't just look at their entire schedule and just say, forget all those.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll happen, maybe they won't. Who knows? They're not technically green lit. But even still, when the movie came out, everyone's like, oh my god, but what about this and this? And they're just like, yep, those are happening. It's like, oh, sure. Alright. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's...
So Spawn's gonna be... you're excited for Spawn?
Oh yeah, it's one of those of... I need to wait to see a trailer to be like, to kind of get a feel to it, but as it stands right now, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it to see what they can do. Like I said, like, I like McFarlane, so I'm going to trust that he's guiding it on the kind of like the right path. We'll see what comes out of it for like a first trailer,
Do you think Jamie Foxx could put on like 60 pounds of muscle, become huge, and then fill it? Do you think he's got the possibility to do that? Or do you think he's already just too thinly built? He's a pretty thin dude.
Yeah, and like, it's one of those where, and
I don't know when the movie comes out.
I don't think there's like a. I think they had like a rough release date of like 2019. I think I honestly I can't remember, but it might even be like end of 2018. I'm not too sure, and to be honest, like I feel like it was a very loose. It wasn't like. Once again, it's not like they set up a timeline. They're like, this date. See, the hard part of that is that trying to think back of like Jamie Foxx's roles, he's never played a big dude, so I can't see him as one. Like he's always played. He hasn't even. And once again, like I don't know all of his roles, but
yes, you do. Biggest Jamie Foxx fan right here.
He has, to my knowledge, he hasn't even played someone like a fighter or something where it's like, all right, he had to get a little bit bigger for this role.
What about Amazing Spider-Man 2 where he played Electro?
I never saw.
Oh, he was blue.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, because I think at the end, like, he was shirtless for Django Unchained, and like he seemed to be like
he's in shape.
Yeah,
like he's not out of shape. Even the Robin Hood trailer that came out, he's still in shape.
Yeah, and honestly, like he's always in shape, but it's like Spawn's like pretty bulky. Like he's in that like sort of like Batista realm of like. Well, he's a big dude.
We've seen it through like Christian Bale. He put on like what was it? It was like 80 pounds.
But Christian Bale is
he's insane.
Christian Bale's not. Human shouldn't be able to like go from like the extremes he did. Like I watched The Machinist years ago. And I was like, that's scary. Terrifying. This is not no.
Like I thought I was skinny.
Yeah.
See now, here's the thing with Jamie Foxx though. He's still a relatively new actor. Relatively,
yeah,
and I use that term lightly because I think his one of his biggest roles that got him really started was Horrible Bosses. And that was back. I think that was 2012.
That was a while ago.
It was a good time. It was when Kevin Spacey was still fun.
when he was still a thing, you know.
Remember him just spacing it up? He doesn't do that anymore.
He's a bad person.
Thank you for hitting the nail right on the head there. But so far since his rise into fame, he's played his roles pretty safe. Mm-hmm. Like they're all relatively similar. Like his most dynamic role I've seen him in so far, aside from Django Unchained, is probably Baby Driver.
Oh yeah,
because he did go pretty hardcore insane with that.
Yeah,
and I was like, you know what, I like this. I like this. He's got range.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. Can he modify himself?
I haven't watched it, but I believe he played Ray Charles in.
He did.
Yeah, and apparently that was amazing.
Yeah.
Once again, I haven't seen it. Like that's not a movie I'm really interested in, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, once again, like, I think it'll be mainly like, what it'll probably be is you'll probably bulk up a bit for it, and then, but it'll probably be the 60-75% voice, right? And like you'll see a little bit, right? The face will probably be the same, and that's just like it'll be a lot of CG. I don't know what you're doing, but you should.
Some might say he changes voice like this. Hello everyone, I'm Spawn.
God, I'm glad you're the one who has to edit the audio on this.
Is it that loud?
It's pretty loud. It's real bad. I didn't look to see the level it was at.
Yeah.
But it sounded really.
I honestly you've worn one of those before as well. You can't hear anything inside the helmet aside from your own voice.
Yeah, it sounded real loud and like really rough. You were right by the mic. So
well, I look forward to editing this.
That's going to hurt.
Or I'll just mute it. I'll get it really quiet. People will be like, "What the fuck did he just say?" And then we'll come back and we'll be explaining this mystery game that's happening right now.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think that pretty much covers.
So your excitement fibers are at like a 10 right now for Spawn.
I wouldn't say a 10. No? I'd say like I'm firmly in the realm of like I'm interested and I want this to be really good.
Yeah.
But I'm also like we'll see what happens.
See, right? I am perfectly undivided right now.
Yeah. Like I'm a big fan of Spawn.
I might be using that wrong. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Spawn, so I do want this to be really good.
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll see what happens.
Well, I don't have any nostalgia for that.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to care.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie. It sounds cool. I've liked everything Todd Macfarlane's been saying.
Yeah.
Where, like, following a detective instead of the superhero does sound genuinely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Take a good take on that. Also, film noir. You don't see enough of those. It's been a long time since we got a good
film
noir.
And I'm assuming it'll be, like, in color, but, like, it'll be, like, a lot dark.
Boo! Bad movie. 0 out of 10, not noir.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, film noir is in, like, kind of, like, the tone of it, where it'll be a lot more, like, a darker, sort of, grounded superhero.
Kyle was making a joke. It was just a funny... Why you gotta ruin my jokes? It's because
that's just
fat,
what I do.
Isn't it? It's because I'm fat.
See, well, I guess they've seen you, so they know you're not.
I'll go back into all the videos. I'll take me out.